This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shasheena Rolle. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, environment concerns coming to the forefront again regarding the ongoing developments in Bimini. Tonight, an official with the Bimini Blue Coalition is speaking out. Megan Shepard has the story.
Director of Save the Bay's coalition, Joe Darville, calls it a critical and urgent situation that is threatening the marine life of Bimini. The Gentings Group of Company, he says, has received a permit to begin the construction of a 1,000-foot dock off of the north shore of Bimini extending into the ocean. Darville believes the dredging for and construction of this dock will cause irreparable damage.
That dock, which is 1,000 feet, will connect with a man-made island, which originally was going to be 12 acres, which is an enormous size. They recently cut it down to 6 acres, and they would create a turning basin for these fast ferries that was scheduled, in fact, to commence their travel back between Florida and Bimini. That is reprehensible, it's foolish, it is almost immoral, because it's going right into some of the most famous dive areas in the world. And this is what Bimini is known for. It is the island stream. It is known for its beautiful waters, its pristine areas around its beaches, etc.
Darville says the coalition is not against development, but is calling on the government to ensure that it is done in a responsible way that does not harm the natural resources. He adds that the constant digging and dredging will have harsh consequences on the environment.
What that will do actually will send silt from the dredging activity out over those beautiful reefs, and some 23 dive areas in that particular vicinity. And of course the reefs will eventually die because they cannot survive with that type of sediment being imposed upon them, drifting over these beautiful live coral reefs. And so that is where we have come in, Save the Bays, to assist the Bimini Coalition.
Darville says Bimini is known around the world for its seas, marine life, and dive spots. He says the government cannot allow this construction to destroy God-given habitats that marine life come to spawn and raise their young. Darville notes a critical situation that has already taken place in the Bimini Bay and says it must not be allowed to happen once again.
There was a particular area in that bay which was called, I think, Pigeon Point, and it was the area where there was an enormous amount of what we call the sawfish, which is in the shark species, but a very small species, that is. They came in and they destroyed that area, and today you can't find one of that particular species in the Bimini Bay at all. And so this type of sort of indiscriminate destruction of our environment must not take place.
Darville is working along with the Bimini Blue Coalition to stop the construction of the dock and says several international organizations are also on board. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Well, while in Bimini, we recently spoke with developer CEO Gerardo Capo about these environmental concerns expressed by the Bimini Blue Coalition.
And I say everything they've done here has always been environmentally friendly. Why has it been environmentally friendly? Very simple. The governments, the different governments that we had during the past years, either one or the other one, has always required environmental studies. We have paid millions of dollars in environmental studies from third parties, independent third parties. And we have gone, presented to the government, got them approved, and everything that's been done has been done according to that. The environment here, the environment is the treasure that we have here. So we want to protect it. We don't want to destroy it.
And still on the island of Bimini, the super fast ferry made its maiden voyage to that island yesterday, 2 weeks after it was initially scheduled to begin service. While the boat arrived, no passengers were on board, and Coast Guard officials are now quoted as saying that the vessel has only met the minimal requirements to sail with the crew. Officials say there was a malfunction that resulted in the vessel not being issued a certificate of clearance. Bimini Superfast Ferry was expected to make its first trip to Bimini several weeks ago to coincide with the opening of the Resorts World Casino at Bimini Bay. But Coast Guard officials say there were many major infractions. The Coast Guard is currently working with the vessel to address these outstanding issues. In other news, a vital component of airport operations of Grand Bahama making the official transition recently into the hands of the government from a private entity. Now a union leader is sharing his views on the significant handover. Joan Davis Rolle reports.
President of the Bahamas Air Traffic Controllers Union, Roscoe Papal, weighing in on the recent acquisition by the government of the air traffic control facility here on Grand Bahama.
In addition to our membership, we have gained potential 19 new members for our organization. But beyond that, this year is, like you note, a day of significant. Minister pointed out on our 40th anniversary, we have reacquired the control of air traffic service in Grand Bahama.
While Papal commended the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority for what appears to be a seamless transition, he says he does so with mixed emotions.
While many persons sing the glory of this event, this is also, in my view, a step back for the Bahamas, because what we had here in Grand Bahama was the first privately run international airport in the world with the first privately run air traffic service. 50 years later, we have passed this service now over to the government, who is in another 6 months or thereabout going to, with the establishment of the airport authority that the minister forecast, transition this service back into out of the public service per se into a quasi-government corporation along with the other services within the Bahamas.
Further, he admitted that initially there was a cloud of uncertainty.
Some of the controllers are a bit apprehensive about this transition. Some would have taken a significant salary decreases. However, I assured them that with the public service that they have somewhat a more reasonable level of job security, in that the 23 persons that are hired are properly qualified and should, if they continue to behave themselves and comply with the rules, go to bed feeling certain that their jobs are secure. And in fact, it is my own projection that the service in Grand Bahama, that the Grand Bahama airports will return to its glory days in the not too distant future.
The union leader says the reintroduction of a weather station on Grand Bahama is also significant.
Aviation meteorology is a special branch of meteorology, and that in Nassau it has worked seamlessly. We had it in Grand Bahama, it had to be reduced over the years. Like Nassau will be experiencing in 2014 the new digital radar. I can't foresee radar services coming to Grand Bahama, if not next year, in the not too distant future.
Joan Davis Rolle, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us, the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition continues right after this.